Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, My Asexual Life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey, all there to help you in yours. Subscribe and hit the bell icon right here, right now, for lots of asexual advice about love, life, dating, relationships, confidence, you name it. It's here on Asexualise, My Asexual Life. So tonight I'm going to be discussing our asexual. I'll rephrase that. Tonight I'm going to be discussing, are dating sites worth it if you're asexual, and what is the alternatives? So asexuality is a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction, and it's also a spectrum. So this covers all asexuals, from those who are sex repulsed, pure asexuals, don't experience any sexual attraction whatsoever, up to those who are sex positive, and some who are on the grey asexual end of the spectrum who do experience sexual attraction under limited, rare, or infrequent circumstances, or not enough to want to act on it. So there's a huge wide range of different types of asexuals. Now, with that in mind, are dating sites worth it? When I say dating sites, I'm talking about overall. So there's many more traditional dating sites than there are asexual dating sites. There's dating sites that are predominantly for heterosexuals, many more of those than there are for specific niche dating sites such as asexuality. If someone is on the more sexual end of the asexual spectrum, as in they're more grey asexual, they are more able to easily find someone in comparison to someone who's a sex repulsed asexual, for example. But in terms of heteronormativity, heterosexual traditional dating sites, they're still going to have a hard time because they don't fit into the norm of what society sees as a normal relationship. Most people view normal relationship as basically you have sex, marriage, and kids, all that type of stuff, and that everyone who's in a relationship ultimately wants sex, and it's the most physical, intimate thing you can do, and the most ultimate love thing, and ultimately defines your relationship. As we know from being asexual and minority sexual orientation, these are very strong stereotypes, but they don't have to be accurate or the case. You do not have to have sex in order to love someone. You don't have to love someone and then have to have sex with them. You can choose not to have sex if you're sex repulsed and hate sex. Why would you want sex? And so we know all these stereotypical things are stereotypical, but just that they are not something you have to define yourself by or a relationship by. Having said that, like, it does make it more harder if you are very different in terms of finding someone for a relationship on a more traditional dating site. So, for example, dating sites like Tinder, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, Match.com, eHarmony.com, Bumble. There's loads and loads of different types of apps and sites. And some of these sites do have an asexual option, some don't, some recognize asexuality, some don't. But in terms of like trying to find someone for a relationship, if you're a sex repulsed asexual, you're gonna have a lot more harder time. And in general, I personally think that a lot of the dating apps and dating sites are a waste of time because you spend hours, if you're proactive and serious, trawling through loads of people. And you might find the odd one or two or even three or four people that might be interesting enough for you to strike up a conversation with them. They might have something in common with you. But in general, personally, I find that the cons of dating and dating apps, dating sites, is the fact that they zap your time. When I was on Bumble, I spent about up to 4 hours scrolling through different types of guys because I'm very specific in the guys I like. And I think it's important to be very specific about what you want. Otherwise, you flail all over the place and you got no direction. And You can't really narrow down your choices. You don't wanna leave it too wide and too open, otherwise you'll just end up with anyone coming into your sphere and people you don't want, which is wasting your time. So, you can look at it as though the cons are it's a waste of time. There's a lot of people that are just after sex on these dating sites, dating apps such as Facebook Dating. There's a lot of them on there, and they will not only waste your time, they will zap your energy by wasting your time, and then they will ignore what you say in your profile about the fact you don't like sex if you don't and you put it in there, and they will just continue to either talk to you, or when they finally get the message that you don't want sex, they might stop messaging you. This is really disappointing. You've got to be prepared to be rejected no matter what dating app or dating site you're on. Anything in sales, for example, is a numbers game, and this applies to dating sites as well. Dating is a numbers game. People are on there selling themselves, and you have to pick the best people you can out of the bad bunch, if you like, in order to find the right person for you. I say bad bunch, but these people aren't bad for everyone. There are some people, including women, who genuinely like to just hook up and sleep around, and mess around, and there's a lot of other people that don't want commitments, and so there's someone for everyone. But if you're a person who's looking for a serious, committed relationship, you're going to be on these dating sites trawling through quite a lot of people. I thought that being on paid for sites like eHarmony and Match.com would be better, but within 24 hours, I hadn't paid, but in with 24 hours, I just deleted my eHarmony account and suspended permanently my Match.com account. Because to me, I was already starting to trawl through guys, and I was just thinking, this is wasting my time. Whilst you're doing that, you can be like trying to do something better with your life, learning a new skill, learning a new experience, and you can just be improving yourself and improving your life, and instead you're wasting it away trawling through people, many of which are no good for you. On the upside of dating, you can eventually become more thick-skinned, and you can be more open to rejection, and therefore it can make the process of dating easier. Also, you can come across people that you might become friends with. I became friends with my bestest friends through a dating group and through a dating site, even though we're not compatible for a relationship. So, you might not meet the person of your dreams, but you might meet someone who is compatible with you. But I find that's easier to do on asexual dating sites than it is on traditional dating sites, because on traditional dating sites, they don't really get the message of wanting to be friends as just friends. They want friends with benefits. And that's what I would say is another con to being on dating sites, is a lot of them, because they're traditional dating sites, a lot of them want friends and benefits on there. This basically means kissing, doing intimate stuff, sexual stuff usually, but not actually having the commitment. So if you're looking for commitment, I would probably tend to go elsewhere. I think some of the alternatives are actually paying for dating sites, but I found a person from Facebook Dating who I didn't think was a high quality guy, who came and actually messaged me on one of the other dating sites as a paid for site, and they were still were no good. They were just copy and pasting the same hiring message over and over again. So it seems that just because people pay for it doesn't mean to say that the people are any better quality. I would have thought they should be, because if you're paying to actually date, um, then you usually take things more seriously. But, with the revelation that a guy's on there from Facebook Dating who I thought was a low quality guy, he must be paying for it because he could private message me, then I'm thinking, clearly this is not good. So alternatively, it's like go to social groups on meetup.com, for example, go to singles groups on meetup.com. Just go to different general groups. Hopefully you'll meet someone there. Obviously, you can go to nightclubs if you've got the guts to. You can go to pubs, bars, clubs. But if you want someone, say, more quiet and serene, then maybe meet someone at a library, strike a conversation up in the library. But I know you have to be a lot more quiet in there. And wherever you go, if you're at a bus stop or in the supermarket, you see someone you like, you can strike up a conversation with them, try and find out if they've got a partner. And, I think that meeting someone in person, and when they can actually meet you and you can express yourself and you express your asexuality and they can learn more about you as a person, I think you stand a better chance of meeting someone than you do on a dating site a lot of the time. But having said that, a lot of people meet their love of their life on the dating site online because, a lot of people can't meet other people else. And, some people are very introverted and they don't like other ways of doing things. So, I think dating sites still have their place very much. A lot of people meet through dating sites. It's a very convenient way of doing things. You can actually do video dating and you can block the person if they're not right for you rather than waste your time traveling to them. You can actually do these things up front, which is a lot better than the traditional way of just meeting up with a stranger who you don't know, right? So if you're looking for alternatives, I would say definitely try and meet people in person. Try and go to groups with things you have in common with the other people in the groups. Try and look what other groups are in. So if you're going to meetup.com, try and find out if they're in any singles groups. If so, they're likely to be single and looking for a relationship. But I think it's better to do interest groups and stuff like that. If you are going on a dating site, I think Match.com and eHarmony are good from the point of view through Match.com you have to go through Affinity. So you basically have to take their quiz, and that is a personality test. And with eHarmony too, it's a personality test. And so I think that you're much more likely to find someone more compatible for you if you do these personality tests. However, Match.com, like I said, when I took the quiz there, I went to a site called Affinity and they set you up another dating profile there, which is part of Match.com. I kept getting much older guys interested in me. So they kind of mess the filters up, in my opinion. And they did that with eHarmony as well. I went through all the questionnaire. It was really good. And then at the end, they're filtering my stuff to include smokers, and I hate smoking. So that was really bad thing. So I think you're better off trying to meet someone in person, trying to get someone used to your personality and the way you are and what makes you tick. I think that can be a lot better for asexuals. Also, go to asexual meetups, very important because you're more likely to meet people of your own kind then. That's really, really important. And join groups on Facebook, singles groups, for example, for asexuals. That can be quite interesting and good. These are some of the alternative out of the norm things you can do. I think personally that a lot of traditional dating sites are a waste of time for asexuals and a waste of money. But I also think that you need to give things a chance sometimes and, to see if it pays off, because no one's perfect, no one's infallible, and no one can predict the future. So it's important that you give yourself the best opportunities and chances of maximizing meeting the right person. So I personally would go on dating sites and dating apps, especially the free ones. And then, if you get serious and think, I want to spend X amount of hours per week doing this and dedicate my time to looking for the right person on these dating sites, then it's worth paying for, you know? But I think if you're asexual, sex repulsive, it's a lot harder and a lot less worth your time, energy, and effort, because the majority of people do want sex, but you get out what you put in. So the more energy you put into something, the more likely you are to find something or someone suitable in the first place. So I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insight. If you have, pop an emoji down below. Love to know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I'll see you soon next video live stream. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Bye.